Anna Duggar snubbed her father-in-law Jim Bob at Josh's sentencing, as her family members have been begging her to divorce her prisoner husband. Josh, 34, was sentenced to 12 years behind bars for receiving CP on May 25 after he was found guilty of the crime back in December. Josh's wife Anna, 33, arrived to the sentencing with members from her husband's legal team, as she sat in the first row of the courthouse with her family. The Sun can exclusively reveal Jim Bob, 56, was ignored by Anna and her family, which included two of her brothers, when he arrived to the courtroom alone. A Sun reporter on the scene claimed, Jim Bob walked to Anna's row to sit down when he entered the courtroom. Anna and her family Jim Bob is telling people she is defending Josh and no longer speaking to most of the family. Her family members eventually Jim Bob said she blames him and wife Michelle for Josh's arrest. Did not greet each other. Anna feels it all stems from how they dealt with his previous scandal after he assaulted his sisters. But the two seemingly made up in time for the November 2021 trial. Anna has been living in a warehouse on the Duggar family's property with her 7 children. Josh's cousin Amy, 35, previously begged Anna, who she was once close with, to leave him in an exclusive interview with The Sun. Amy said, "There could be a better life." When Josh was found I heard a quote, "Your first love might have been a great love, but it might not be your best love. There could be a whole other life for her that she could have if she could see how dark and evil Josh truly is." She's delusional. Amy even opened her home to Anna and their 7 young children she shares with Josh. As she continued, "We have room here. Anna is in denial. We can make bunk beds. We can do whatever it is to help. You have to ask for it, you have to reach out. We've tried." The mom of son Daxton, too, revealed the last time she spoke to Anna was in November, as she acted like nothing was wrong. Amy blamed the family's Institute in Basic Life Principles religion for Anna's decision to stand by her husband, as she explained, "Once you're in IBLP, you're brainwashed into believing whatever your husband tells you or someone you respect tells you. It's an umbrella of protection is what they call it. Your husband is over you and you trust them no matter what. You never ask questions and you never think for yourself. You're not allowed to. You're not supposed to." The former 19 kids and counting star continued, "I don't know how you could not think he was guilty after all the trial. I know he's guilty. I feel like the whole world knows he's guilty. If she wants to turn a blind eye, maybe that's her way of surviving and coping through all of this. There is a darker side to him, a terrible side." When asked if Anna would leave if Josh got a sentence over his requested 5 years behind bars, she responded, "I have no idea. I haven't thought about that. More than likely. There is a big possibility of that happening. Which is terrible. It's so sad." Last week, Amy posted a photo of the two hugging during her wedding to her husband Dylan King, who owns Wellington's in Springdale, Arkansas. In the caption, Amy pleaded for her cousin, who shares 7 children with Josh, to leave him. The 3130 owner told The Sun of the public plea, "I know that Anna checks her Instagram. I thought, okay, could tag her in it and maybe she could see it. She's not answering text messages. She's not answering phone calls. I know she has a large account and she does scroll on Instagram. That's a way to reach out and say I am here for her. How do you stay silent when something is so heartbreaking? Anna is being silenced or choosing to be silent, or she's choosing not to believe the real hard true facts of what's happening. If I were Anna, I can't imagine the kind of mental state I would be in. It's going to take a lot of time for her to really understand what's happening. It's just really sad." Amy doesn't know if Anna read the post, as she hasn't heard from her. She said, "Maybe she thinks I'm after fame or likes on Instagram. That was saying I feel for you. Anna, I love you. I've loved you since day one. I want her to know how sincere it truly is. Everyone just wants the best for her and her children, and for them to be safe and protected." Anna and Josh have been married for 13 years and share 7 children together. Anna attended every court hearing and day of trial, as she was also in the front row at sentencing. Josh's attorney, Justin Gelfand, mentioned Anna's support while describing his client at the sentencing. He said she knows him best despite the charges against him. Anna also wrote a letter to the judge praising her husband, as she asked for leniency when deciding a sentence. Arkansas Judge Brooks sentenced Josh to 151 months in prison on May 25. According to the Sun's court reporter, Josh appeared stoic as he received his sentence, which also includes $50,100 in fines. As he read his decision, the judge called Josh's crimes the sickest of the sick to the packed courtroom. He then said to Josh, "You have done some very bad things. But in your life as a whole, you've done good things." The true test of a man's character is what a man does when no one is watching. Referring to Josh's insistence that he's innocent, the judge continued, "I find it aggravating about the lack of responsibility." In addition to Anna and Jim Bob, Josh's sister Joanna, and brothers Jason and James watched him receive his grueling sentence in court on Wednesday, the Sun's reporter claimed. When the judge adjourned court, Josh hugged and shook his lawyer's hands, then he turned around and gave Anna the "I love you" hand gesture used in sign language. Anna was seen holding back tears as she stormed from the courtroom and to her car. Josh remains at Washington County Jail in Arkansas. He will either be transferred to FCI Seagoville or FCI Texarkana in Texas, depending on availability.